I put the first openly gay female stand-up, Leah Deliria, on. I had death threats. By the way, can you imagine how bored a person is that in America their death threat is because I put a lesbian on with jokes?
Arsenio Hall was one of the most popular late-night talk show hosts in the 1990s. But then, since 1994, he seemed to vanish from the spotlight. So, what happened to Arsenio Hall? What has he been up to since then? His off-screen life is even more intriguing than you might think, with Hollywood feuds, mysterious disappearances, and scandalous interviews. If you thought his jokes were impressive, wait until you hear about the behind-the-scenes drama. Arsenio Hall's life is more than just comedy. It's like a reality show you never knew you needed. From child magician to comedy star. Born on February 12, 1956 in Cleveland, Ohio, Arsenio Hall seemed destined for the spotlight. Even before comedy became his main stage, he was already performing as a child magician. His early foray into entertainment included a memorable appearance on the TV show Soul, where his dad proudly announced, "Watch my son tonight. He'll be doing magic on television." After graduating from Warrenville Heights High School in 1973, Arsenio went on to Kent State University, where he left a trail of laughter and formed connections that would shape his career. In fact, a college friend once humorously admitted to cheating on an Arsenio-penned paper in 1979. Arsenio's journey took him from Ohio to Chicago, where he aimed to make his mark on the comedy scene. His talent didn't go unnoticed. Jazz legend Nancy Wilson recognized him as a rising star, saying, "I owe much of my success to my next guest. She's one of the best song stylists in the history of music." Soon, Arsenio was sharing stages with icons like Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, Tina Turner, and Stevie Wonder, and even made an appearance on Soul Train, Rising in Hollywood. By 1984, Arsenio Hall was already making waves as the hype man on Alan Thicke's talk show, Thick of the Night. His charisma and unique style didn't go unnoticed, and he soon brought his flair to NBC's Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour. But it was his groundbreaking role as the first black host of a late-night talk show that truly set him apart. Two of the most talked-about late-night talk shows. First, the Arsenio Hall Show, and then The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. While Arsenio brought unparalleled fun to the table, his journey was filled with its fair share of drama and challenges. The Arsenio Hall Show made its debut on January 3, 1989, and ran until May 27, 1994. From the moment it hit the airwaves, it went toe-to-toe with established late-night giants. But Arsenio's vibrant energy and fresh approach quickly won audiences over. This show wasn't just another talk show, it was a cultural phenomenon. Arsenio had a knack for appealing to a younger, trend-setting audience, bringing in high-profile guests like MC Hammer, Eddie Murphy, and Hulk Hogan. One of the most memorable moments came in June 1992 when U.S. presidential candidate Bill Clinton graced the stage. Clinton's performance of Heartbreak Hotel on the saxophone was more than just a musical interlude. It was a political game-changer. This bold move not only showcased Clinton's charisma, but also significantly boosted his appeal among younger and minority voters, playing a key role in his 1992 presidential victory. And let's not overlook Tupac Shakur, a standout guest on the Arsenio Hall Show. One of Arsenio's all-time favorite moments was when Tupac appeared and spoke candidly about his smoking habits. That episode was raw, unfiltered, and quintessentially Tupac, showing his real, unvarnished self. It's almost as if there were two sides to Tupac, the poetic, introspective artist, and the bold, outspoken figure. Arsenio Hall wasn't just a late-night host. He was a trailblazer, turning every episode into an unmissable event with his unique ability to draw out raw, honest moments from his guests. But behind the scenes, the show was never without its share of drama. For instance, in December 1990, the atmosphere during a taping of the Arsenio Hall Show became particularly heated. The high-energy, often volatile nature of late-night television meant that Arsenio had to navigate these spicy moments with finesse and a touch of his signature flair. Handling controversy. During an episode of the Arsenio Hall Show, a few members of Queer Nation, strategically positioned throughout the audience, interrupted Arsenio's opening monologue. They were vocal about their frustration, questioning why he had never featured any openly gay guests on his show. Arsenio, momentarily taken aback but quick to respond, addressed the situation head-on. "I'm sorry. Why don't I have any gay guests on my show?" "Well, many potential guests who are gay don't openly discuss their sexuality, so we don't always know if they are or not. This isn't about avoiding tough questions. I'm not going to shy away from this issue. Who would you like to see on my show who is openly gay? Maybe someone like Gus Van Sant or Harvey Fierstein. I may not know Van Sant, but Elton John has been here, and he's set the stage on fire." Despite Arsenio's candid and spirited defense, the protesters remained dissatisfied. They criticized the show for not booking well-known openly gay figures, challenging Arsenio to address this perceived gap more proactively. Arsenio Hall didn't hold back during the confrontation with Queer Nation members who had interrupted his monologue. He firmly responded that Elton John had been a guest on the show, making it clear that his booking choices were based on the work of his guests, not their sexual orientation. The atmosphere was charged as Arsenio grew increasingly frustrated, defending his show's diversity and commitment to entertainment. The exchange was intense, with Arsenio passionately asserting his stance. He emphasized that he had a circle of gay friends and that a person's sexual preference was irrelevant to his booking decisions. "I'm angry about the insinuation," he stated in a 2014 interview. "I've always been a supporter of gay rights. I brought the first openly gay female stand-up, Leah Delaria, onto my show. I even received death threats for it. Can you believe that? Death threats because I showcased a lesbian comedian? It's ridiculous. At that time, there was a lot of ignorance about gay comedians and their place in mainstream media." Arsenio reflected on the broader context, saying, "I knew who was gay in Hollywood, and they were on my show. It was frustrating to be accused of not supporting the gay community when I was actively including them in my work. When someone stands up in my audience and tries to undermine my show, they're not just challenging me, they're impacting my livelihood and my family. If you're wrong, I'll call it out, and I'll keep that segment in to show that people who are wrong should face the consequences." The backlash and fallout. The Arsenio Hall Show was a powerhouse of late-night television, captivating audiences across 178 stations in America until 1993. The show's popularity began to wane as the year progressed, largely due to a seismic shift in the late-night landscape. The premiere of 3 new late-night series introduced fresh competition, but it was the debut of The Late Show with David Letterman in August that had the most profound impact. As Letterman's show quickly became a sensation, several CBS affiliates, including WBBM-TV, opted to either drop Arsenio's show or relegate it to late-night slots, effectively pushing it into obscurity. As Letterman's success mounted and the competition intensified, Arsenio Hall and Paramount faced mounting pressure. In a bid to reinvigorate his show, Arsenio made a bold and controversial decision to book Minister Louis Farrakhan, the leader of the Nation of Islam. Farrakhan, a figure known for his polarizing views, had been described as both an inspiring and enlightened leader by some, but was also criticized for his racist and anti-Semitic statements. This move was seen as a last-ditch effort to boost ratings and draw attention, but it also stirred significant controversy and debate. Arsenio Hall's decision to feature Minister Louis Farrakhan on his show stirred a whirlwind of reactions. "Many people are thrilled that I'm having him here tonight. Others are furious with me," Hall remarked, acknowledging the divisive nature of his guest choice. He referenced a lyric from Public Enemy, "I got to do what I got to do," expressing his resolve to push forward despite the controversy. Hall hoped that the hour ahead would lead to something positive, despite the storm of criticism that had already begun. During the episode, Hall confronted Farrakhan about the resistance he faced. "Why do you think there has been so much resistance to me having you on the show?" he asked. To address concerns and balance the show's content, Hall had promised equal airtime to gospel singer Kirk Franklin and his group, The Family. "I promised equal airtime to gospel singer Kirk Franklin and his group, The Family, to balance things out," Hall explained, trying to diffuse the situation. The show featured a performance by one of gospel's rising stars. Hall enthusiastically introduced Franklin and his group, saying, "He can handle it. Please give it up for Kirk Franklin and The Family. Here we go. Come on, everybody." Despite the attempt to balance the program, the tension around Farrakhan's appearance continued to overshadow the episode. When the episode featuring Minister Louis Farrakhan aired, it became clear that the show had shifted its focus almost entirely to Hall's interview with Farrakhan, relegating Kirk Franklin and his group to a much less prominent role. The interview dominated the episode, and Arsenio Hall faced significant backlash for what many perceived as a soft approach, failing to confront Farrakhan on his most controversial views. In the years that followed, Arsenio Hall reflected on the unexpected and intense public reaction to the interview. "We were shocked at the attention that it got on the day the booking was announced," Hall admitted. Despite the surprise, he explained that the decision to feature Farrakhan was driven by genuine interest. "We knew our audience. We knew people were interested in him and the upcoming Million Man March that I had heard him talk about, which was my big interest," Hall explained. He had seen Farrakhan perform and knew that his violin teacher was white, which sparked his curiosity. "I thought my audience would want to hear this man," Hall added, emphasizing that his decision was based on a belief in the value of the conversation, rather than an intention to avoid controversy. Arsenio Hall reflected on the backlash he faced for featuring Louis Farrakhan on his show, noting that the criticism he encountered was markedly different from what other hosts experienced when they interviewed Farrakhan. "And though I didn't say it outright, let's keep it real," Hall said. "We know that the color of his skin played a big part in that response." He felt that he was navigating a double standard, facing scrutiny and criticism that white hosts didn't face. Hall expressed his frustration, questioning why his decision to book Farrakhan resulted in such a unique backlash compared to other prominent interviewers. "Before I bring people here and talk to them because I think you might be interested in these guests, I don't understand why booking him caused people to treat me differently than Barbara Walters or anyone else who interviewed him," Hall said. He felt that despite any criticisms of his interviewing style, he had the right to feature guests and engage in discussions. Hall was dismayed by the differential treatment he received compared to other hosts who had booked Farrakhan, shows Cancellation and Arsenio's comeback attempt in 2013. Compounding the issue, many speculated that the controversial interview with Farrakhan was a significant factor in the eventual cancellation of The Arsenio Hall Show. Hall was aware of these rumors and resented being unfairly singled out amidst the broader scrutiny. Arsenio Hall addressed the rumors that the decline in viewership following his interview with Louis Farrakhan contributed to the cancellation of The Arsenio Hall Show. He clarified that his decision to resign was made well before the Farrakhan episode ever aired. "My resignation letter was submitted long before the Farrakhan booking. That's on record. It went to a man named Carrie McCluggage at Paramount," Hall explained. He emphasized that his departure was already in motion by the time the Farrakhan interview occurred. "I was still striving to deliver great shows, but honestly, when I resigned, I don't think I even knew how to spell Farrakhan," he added, underscoring that his decision to step down was unrelated to the controversy. 19 years after the original show was canceled in 1994, The Arsenio Hall Show made a highly anticipated comeback. Premiering on September 9, 2013, Arsenio returned to the late-night landscape with his signature charisma and style. Fans were excited to see the legendary host back on television. However, despite the initial buzz and fanfare, the show struggled with low ratings throughout its run. The revival, which aimed to recapture the magic of the original, ultimately could not sustain its audience and was canceled after just one season. The final episode aired on May 21, 2014, marking the end of Arsenio's second stint in late-night television, the behind-the-scenes battles. On The Howard Stern Show, Arsenio Hall peeled back the curtain on the behind-the-scenes battles he faced while running his late-night show. He disclosed that pushing through his innovative ideas was often an uphill struggle. The showrunners were keen on keeping things conservative, creating friction with Arsenio's bold vision. A lot of stuff didn't sit well with the legends, he admitted. Despite putting on a brave face and delivering his show with enthusiasm, Arsenio felt the weight of constant resistance. He recalled a particular conflict with Paramount over not being allowed to feature NWA on the show, which even inspired Ice Cube to reference their feud in his music. "When a rapper puts your name in some bars, it's like, oh," he says, Arsenio chuckled, reflecting on the intensity of that period. Looking back, Arsenio expressed some lingering regret about his career path. His decision to step away from the show, along with his focus on fatherhood, meant he missed out on acting opportunities. "It's rough, 'cause the business don't wait for you. You can't take a break from show business," he lamented. "The entertainment world doesn't pause for anyone, and re-entering the scene later on proved challenging." "You stick with where people are comfortable having you," he explained, acknowledging how public perception can dictate one's career trajectory. Friendship with Eddie Murphy, debunking feud rumors. Adding to the drama, in 2013, rumors swirled that Arsenio and Eddie Murphy were embroiled in a bitter feud. The media had a field day, speculating that Eddie's refusal to appear on the reboot of The Arsenio Hall Show was a sign of deep-seated animosity. "The media loves to stir up the pot," Arsenio observed, underscoring how sensationalism can overshadow the truth. Arsenio Hall wasn't about to let the rumors fester unchecked. On his own show, he took the opportunity to set the record straight, addressing the speculated feud directly. To everyone's surprise, Eddie Murphy himself appeared on the show to clear the air. His presence was a testament to their enduring friendship, as he seemed just as baffled by the rumors as everyone else. Despite the swirling drama of Hollywood, Arsenio and Eddie's bond has remained unwavering over the years. Eddie even honored Arsenio by naming him the godfather to his eldest daughter, Bria. When Bria held an art show, Arsenio proudly accepted this special role, solidifying their friendship beyond the realm of comedy. Their collaborative spirit didn't stop with the original Coming to America. They reunited for the sequel, effortlessly rekindling their iconic roles and demonstrating that their chemistry remains as vibrant as ever. Through the tumultuous ups and downs of the entertainment industry, Arsenio and Eddie have consistently supported and respected one another. Their relationship stands as a testament to how true friendship can endure and flourish, even amidst the ever-changing and often tumultuous world of Hollywood. Arsenio Hall sues Sinead O'Connor for $5 million over her claims. He provided Prince with drugs, spiked her. The drama erupted when O'Connor, who has publicly struggled with mental health issues, alleged that Hall had provided drugs to Prince, who had written her 1990 hit, Nothing Compares to You. On May 2nd, O'Connor posted on Facebook, "2 words for the DEA investigating where Prince got his drugs over the decades. Arsenio Hall, a.k.a. Prince's and Eddie Murphy's bitch. Anyone imagining Prince was not a long-time hard drug user is living in cloud cuckoo land." O'Connor further claimed that Hall had once spiked her drink at a party at Eddie Murphy's home, adding, "Arsenio, I've reported you to the Carver County Sheriff's Office. Expect their call. They are aware you spiked me years ago at Eddie's house. You best get tidying your man cave." A representative for Hall dismissed O'Connor's allegations as absolutely false, ridiculous, and absurd, and no response from O'Connor's team had been received by Us Weekly at the time. In the wake of these accusations, the investigation into Prince's death on April 21, 2016, has drawn significant media attention. Prince, who was found deceased at his Chanhassen, Minnesota estate, had painkillers in his possession, including Percocet, according to NBC News. An autopsy was performed on April 22, but toxicology results were still pending. The Drug Enforcement Agency and the U.S. Attorney's Office confirmed they were aiding Carver County investigators, particularly since Prince had been scheduled to meet with a California doctor on April 22 to address a possible painkiller addiction. Arsenio Hall wasn't about to let the accusations slide. On May 5, 2016, he filed a $5 million defamation lawsuit against Irish singer Sinead O'Connor. The lawsuit, obtained by Us Weekly, was prompted by O'Connor's Facebook post, in which she accused Hall of supplying drugs to Prince and of drugging her at a party in the past. The lawsuit claims that O'Connor, 49, is known for stirring controversy and seeking attention through inflammatory social media posts. Sinead O'Connor then issued an apology for her earlier accusations against comedian Arsenio Hall. Following O'Connor's apology, Hall decided to drop the lawsuit, effectively closing the chapter on this contentious legal battle. Richard Pryor booked Arsenio Hall, a ride on the cocaine train. Arsenio Hall, a fixture in the comedy world, was no saint when he began his career performing at iconic venues like the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. His journey into the world of showbiz decadence was somewhat guided by none other than Richard Pryor, a legendary figure who was as influential as he was notorious. During a recent performance, Hall shared a vivid memory from his early days, recounting how Pryor introduced him to the darker side of fame. According to a Page 6 report, while performing at the Comedy Store on a Monday night, Hall pointed out an intimate booth in a shadowy corner of the venue. This particular spot held sentimental value for Hall, as it was here that Pryor first introduced him to cocaine. Hall reminisced about the night when, after hours, Pryor handed him a rock of cocaine and a $100 bill. The two comedians indulged in the drug while the legendary Stevie Wonder played the piano nearby. Hall humorously noted that Wonder might have thought they were just suffering from allergies, given the inconspicuous nature of their activity. Despite this initiation into the world of drugs, Hall managed to avoid the destructive path that Pryor, who famously struggled with addiction, experienced. After the Arsenio Hall Show ended in 1994, rumors circulated about Hall entering rehab. Hall later took to the internet under a pseudonym to dispel these rumors, asserting that he was not in detox at the Betty Ford Center as speculated. Hall remained deeply connected to Pryor throughout his life. In a heartfelt revelation to Howard Stern, Hall described how he and Pryor maintained their friendship until the end. Hall fondly recalled sneaking Pryor out of his home for occasional outings, even when Pryor's health was failing. He recounted a time when he covertly took Pryor to see an Eddie Murphy movie at the Sherry Lansing Theater, using a cart to transport him in his Range Rover. Despite his illness, Pryor remained a source of humor and joy. Hall made sure to arrange visits from old friends like Quincy Jones and Steve Harvey, and though Pryor could no longer speak much, he continued to bring laughter to those around him. Hall's unwavering support for his hero until Pryor's final days is a testament to their enduring friendship and Pryor's lasting impact on the world of comedy, fatherhood, and stepping back from the spotlight. Despite his high-profile career, Arsenio Hall has been fiercely protective of his personal life. In 1997, after a 3-year hiatus from the public eye, Hall addressed rumors about his absence. "I went on the internet," Hall recounted, "and saw claims that I was in detox at the Betty Ford Center. So I went online under a fake name and wrote, "I know Arsenio better than anyone else, and he's not in detox, you idiots." This witty retort highlighted his frustration with the false narratives circulating about him. Hall became a father in 1998 when he welcomed his son, Arsenio Hall Jr., with his then-partner, Cheryl Bonacci. The arrival of his son was a deeply personal milestone for Hall, especially given earlier medical concerns that had suggested he might never have children. Prior to his son's birth, Hall had taken a deliberate step back from his career, choosing to focus on parenting rather than the spotlight. The decision was a significant one, reflecting his desire to be present for his child's early years. By 2002, reports emerged that Hall and Bonacci had separated. Despite this, Hall's commitment to raising his son remained unwavering. His decision to step away from the public eye allowed him to cherish every milestone in his son's life. After a period of reflection and family focus, Hall made a comeback with the return of The Arsenio Hall Show in 2013. His return to television was well received, though it was short-lived. In the meantime, Hall's financial success has remained robust, with an estimated net worth of $16 million. The release of Coming to America 2 in 2021 was a major success, grossing nearly $300 million worldwide, reinforcing Hall's lasting impact on entertainment. While there is no current information about his personal relationships or upcoming projects, it is clear that Hall continues to live a fulfilling life with his son. Fans eagerly await news of his next venture, hopeful that he will soon return to entertain audiences once again. As we reflect on his remarkable comeback and ongoing legacy, what are your thoughts on his incredible journey? Share your comments below and let us know how you feel about the highs and lows of Arsenio Hall's career. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on all our content about the latest in entertainment. We've got more stories to tell and more updates on the lives of your favorite stars. Until next time, stay tuned.